Hey everyone, this is Kevin with My Fitness Chef Chicago, also a body matrix company. Anyway, today this is my first video that I'm making. It's going to be some low carb cupcakes, which are keto cupcakes. They're gluten free, low in the glycemic index. For every 6 mini cupcakes you eat, it's about 2.5 grams of carbohydrates. Anyway, I'm going to show you step by step how I make these cupcakes. They're very good, they're very tasty. You'll love them. I did a live video feed after they were done, and now I'm putting together just a little video for you to show you step by step, which I said I would do on the live feed earlier. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's fit up these cupcakes. So here's some of the products that you're going to want to use. You're going to want to use almond flour, super fine, blanched. You got your sugar here, your erythritol. We're going to need some lemon extract, some vanilla extract, baking powder, room temperature, important, room temperature butter, 1 stick, 8 ounces of cream cheese and 8 eggs. All these need to be room temperature, so you're going to have to let them get to room temperature before you start making your cupcakes. Okay, really important, guys, wash your hands. You get the water as hot as you can get it, and then you just want to wash your hands. Very important, especially when you're dealing with food that you're going to be preparing for other people. So really wash by the nails. Typically, you could use, if I were going to be cooking at someone's home, I would use a nail brush, and that would get underneath the nails, because underneath the nails you have a lot of bacteria. So wash your hands for at least 20 good seconds, even longer when you're dealing with somebody else's, when you're making food for someone else, and get the water as hot as you can possibly stand it. Do not use Germ-X or anything like that, because it does not kill all, it may kill all the germs, but the simple thing with that is because you put it on and it evaporates, you're not really washing the germs off. When you use hot water, you're washing the germs off. So very important. As you can see the steam coming from the water, that's pretty hot. And you notice I use my wrist to close the handle or turn the water off. So use your wrist. And then dry your hands off. And dry your hands off with a paper towel, not a towel that you've been using to dry your dishes with. Next, you're going to add your cream cheese in there. What I do with the cream cheese is I kind of break it up into chunks, and that way it mixes easier. So now we're going to have the cream cheese, butter, and sugar all mixed together, and then we're going to add in our eggs, which the eggs I break in a bowl. That way if I get any eggshell debris in there, I can get it out before I put it into the mix. But I don't blend the eggs together, I just put them in a bowl. Okay, so this is what your cream cheese, or your blend of cream cheese, butter, and erythritol should look like. It should be creamed together. It's not runny, it's like a paste, but it's creamed together. Now I'm going to add in my wet ingredients, which are going to be my eggs, I'll add in my eggs, and then I'll go ahead and add in my extracts, and then blend that up into a batter, or blend it up, and then we're going to add our flour, baking powder, and salt later on. When you add that, when we start adding that, we'll do it slowly. You don't want to do it fast. Okay, now we've got 2.5 cups of almond flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Also, with the liquid part of the ingredients, that's Nola in the background, she wants to get out. But make sure you're using unsalted butter, because if you use butter with salt and then you're adding salt, it may, well, first of all, baking is chemistry, so you want to make sure you don't have too much salt added in, and it also could alter the taste. So that's why you want to make sure you use unsalted butter, and I use organic unsalted butter. You can use grass-fed, and organic cream cheese. I try to go organic with as many things as possible. All right, this is where we're going to add the mixture we have here. We're just going to add some a little bit at a time. You don't want to just dump it all in there. You want to blend a portion of it, probably a third each time that goes into your batch here, because you don't want it to come out super clumpy, and you want to make sure it's blended well. And it's better to add a little bit at a time, so when you start blending it, you get a good blend. Because remember, you're not working with finely ground regular flour, using almond flour, which even though it is super fine, you can see that it does have some grains. You can see that it's not as finely ground as white flour. So you just want to do a little bit at a time. I do about a third and a third, and then I'm going to blend it up. Now you notice the rim of the bowl is pretty smooth, or it doesn't have a lot of debris. That's because I use a spatula to scrape the edges. So you want to scrape the rest of the batter that collects around the edges back into the main batter mix, so you can get it blended well. And now all we're going to do is add it to our cupcake trays, let it cook for about 22 minutes, and we'll be done. All right, so I'm filling the silicone mini cupcake tray with batter. You just want to fill it about to where it's about 3/4 full, or even a little bit less, because these are going to rise. Remember, you got baking powder in there, so it's going to rise some. So just make sure you fill up each tray. When you get one of these mini cupcake trays, it does specify that you don't have to oil the cups, but I use a little bit of coconut oil, and I go ahead and oil them up just so I don't have to, it makes cleanup easier. And these are going to take about 22 minutes. My oven's already preheated, so it's going to take about 20 to 22 minutes depending on your oven. I'm lucky because in the apartment that I live in Chicago, it's a gas range, which they're a beaut to have if you're going to cook. Gas range all the way. You can control your flame better. It heats up. It cooks your food more evenly, more even. And it's just overall better for cooking. So I'm going to finish filling these up, and then we're going to go ahead and stick them in the oven at 350, a preheated oven, because you don't want to stick it in an oven that's not preheated. That can really mess you up. Trust me, I've done it by accident, or done it once before, and it overcooked my food, and my food did taste funny. Had a little gas taste in it. So these are 24 cupcake tray, or cupcake does 24 cupcakes. I'm sorry, I know I'm going blank on you, but you know, some people can multitask, and some people are really good at it, and some people aren't. But anyway, this will get you about, when all is said and done, you're going to have about 72 mini cupcakes. And later on, I'll show you how to make a cream cheese frosting to go with it, which is very easy. Okay, so those are full. We'll get a batch out of these. Good, okay, that's good. You want to give it a little shake just to even them out. Make sure it's, you know, you don't have too many clumpy ones. Add a little bit more here, a little bit more there, and a little bit more to this one. All right, gotta go. Gotta stick these in because I gotta get them to someone. Bye. And you notice, take a look at the kitchen. Clean as you cook, go along. So I have a few dishes that I have to clean up, but pretty much this is what you want the kitchen to kind of look like when you're done, because the last thing you want to do is have a big mess. And trust me, Ladies, you're in the kitchen more than most men, although there are some men like myself that like to cook. And there's nothing like having a relatively almost clean kitchen when you're cooking something. So you, as you cook, you clean, cook, clean, prepare, clean. That way it saves you a lot of time at the end. It's gonna take me like 5 minutes to clean this up, and then all I gotta do is sit here and watch my stuff cook and sit back and enjoy a glass of, depending on where you're at, it could be a glass of wine, or it could be a cup of tea, or a cup of coffee, or a nice cold glass of water, or a beer. But anyway, that's what you want your kitchen to look like when you're relatively done with making your recipe or preparing your recipe.